Coming up tonight on SLU News 22.
Tragedy in Syria.
SGA elections.
Who will win a Grammy?
Deadpool strikes gold.
Plus national news and weather. Live from the Busch Student Center, this is SLU News 22.
Good evening, I'm Abby Parra.
And I'm Annie Eveker.
Thank you for joining us this evening. Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia was found dead just after 11 a.m. on Saturday morning by the owner of a remote ranch in West Texas, where Scalia was staying for the weekend. A county judge pronounced Justice Scalia dead over the phone and ruled it natural causes based on credible information. Justice Scalia's death will complicate the work of the Supreme Court's 8 remaining justices for the rest of the court's term, probably changing outcomes of some major cases and, for the most part, amplifying the power of its 4-member liberal wing. President Obama has already promised to nominate a successor, and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has vowed to block the president's nomination. Obama's nomination is expected to be announced in the next month.
A new video of suspended University of Missouri professor Melissa Click has surfaced. The Columbia Missourian requested a body camera video, and this request was recently honored. The video of the university's homecoming parade shows demonstrators blocking then-President Tim Wolf's vehicle. Click can be seen in the video telling police to get your hands off the children and cursing at an officer who touched her shoulder. Intern Chancellor Hank Foley said in a statement that this shows a pattern of misconduct and that he will be discussing this with the Board of Curators as they continue to review the issue.
Meteorologist Zach Wilson is in the Weather Center with our first forecast. Zach, what have you got?
Thanks, ladies. So it's really been about the northwest flow for the last week or so. We've been dealing with a lot of quick hit clipper systems, a lot of light snow, light accumulation, but then reinforcing shots of cold air behind each one of them. Yesterday, for Valentine's Day, we had a real fast hit of about 2 inches of snowfall in the mid-morning hours. Definitely didn't give crews a lot of time to get that off the roadways, at least immediately. Though as we work through the day, I think conditions definitely improved. Let's just put it that way. They were able to get that off, and it shouldn't have had any hindrances, at least for your evening plans for Valentine's Day. This is where we're sitting currently. It's 38 right now in Alton. It's 35 out in Highland. That's a cool spot in the area. 37 right now in Belleville. 37 in Sparta. It's 40 degrees in Festus. So really, we did a lot of melting today. It got to about 46 degrees. Some of that snow melted off. Tonight, we should see about 31 for an overnight low, mostly cloudy skies. Winds will be out of the southeast at 4 miles per hour. Coming up on your full forecast, I'll talk about Tuesday morning, also whether or not we'll see any dry time, and if there's a warm-up on the way coming up later in the week. Ladies?
Thanks, Zach. At least 22 people were killed and 40 were wounded earlier today in a series of airstrikes against 2 hospitals and a school building in northern Syria. The attacks targeted both a women and children's hospital in the city of Azaz, as well as a faculty operated by Doctors Without Borders in the province of Idlib. The U.S. Department was quick to condemn the attacks earlier today and immediately placed blame for the actions on Syria's Assad regime. Neither the Syrian government nor Russia, who have been increasingly criticized for their actions in the region, have commented on the airstrikes. The attacks come in the wake of intensified fighting in northern Syria between rebel forces and Russian-backed Syrian troops.
Coming up next, your SLU area news.
The Student Success Center is now accepting applications for tutor and supplemental instruction leader positions. The applications are currently available on SLU groups and will be open through March 6th. For more information about the application, faculty, recommendation form, and interview day, visit the Student Success Center website.
The Cross Cultural Center and the Division of Student Development have announced that the Martin Luther King Jr. Scholarship is now open to all current undergraduate SLU students. The application closes February 19th, and a link to the application can be found in this week's SGA email.
The elections for the 2016-2017 SGA Executive Board and Senators will take place Monday, February 29th. Bios for the Executive Board candidates can be found on the U-News website. The Executive Board bios, as well as the bios for the Senator candidates, can be found in this week's SGA email.
This weekend, St. Louis University Theater opens their first spring show, a musical entitled The Dead. The musical is written by Richard Nelson and Sean Davey. It is based on James Joyce's short, The Story, The Dead. The production will be held on campus in the Xavier Hall main stage theater. Performances will be this weekend, February 19th and the 20th at 8 p.m., and next weekend, February 26th and 27th at 8 p.m., with a 2 p.m. matinee on February 28th. Tickets can be purchased in advance at the SLU Theater box office inside Xavier Hall between 12 to 3 p.m. Tuesday through Friday. The box office will also be open 1 hour prior to each show. Regular tickets are $10, faculty, staff, and senior tickets are $9, and students are $7.
Tomorrow, the Learning and Community Advisory Board and the Be the Match on campus are sponsoring a bone marrow drive. This event will raise awareness about bone marrow donation and encourage students and faculty to join the National Bone Marrow Registry. The event will take place from 11 to 3 in the St. Louis room of the BSC alongside the Micah Blood Drive.
In celebration of Black History Month this week, Black Student Alliance is hosting a Black Health Seminar this Wednesday, February 17th at 7 p.m. in BSC room 352. One of the most popular events, Soul Food and Jazz, will be held this upcoming Sunday, February 21st in the Wolf Ballrooms. The free event starts at 5 p.m. and everyone is invited to enjoy home-style soul food and a jazz band. For more information, visit the BSA Facebook page at facebook.com/slublack.studentalliance.
Missouri House Bill 2330 aims to make it easier for Uber to compete in St. Louis by stripping the St. Louis Metropolitan Taxicab Commission of some powers and creating a statewide standard for ride-hailing apps. Within the legislation is a provision that would shield Uber and other local companies from the city's 1% sales tax. The bill has garnered significant support in Jefferson City. However, information about the hearings on the bill are not yet known. Coming up next, your workweek forecast. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Meteorologist Zach Wilson is here with us now for our extended forecast. Zach?
Yeah, you know, ladies, like I mentioned, we've been locked into this northwest flow for quite some time. Lots of reinforcing shots of cold air, lots of quick hit clipper systems with some light accumulating snowfall. And, you know, each one, you know, you're just kind of like, wow, when does it end? You know, are we going to get any relief from this? And, well, I've been looking at some of the latest data, and I suggest that maybe we're headed for something a little bit different as we head through the week. The snow that we got yesterday, a lot of it has melted off. We reached a high of about 46 degrees today in St. Louis, and now we've fallen off a little bit. It's 38 right now. Lots of clouds around in St. Louis University. Low today was 28 degrees. We reached that this morning. High of a 46, like I mentioned. Humidity is at 83% right now, and the dew point is 33. This is what the storm track looked like today. Lots of cooler air to our north. Lots of clouds around here, and that is really the association with the low pressure system, strong low pressure system in the southeast that's really been kind of driving all kinds of crazy weather in the mid-Atlantic, and that's going to be heading its way up into the northeast as we work through tomorrow and into midweek. Really, I think that's going to be a major issue for the East Coast. To our west, lots of sunshine, plenty of high pressure down here in Texas and Oklahoma, and so that has made for a great day today in our nation's south. Lots of warm air, like I said, to our south and west. High pressure over Northern California. That's going to be moving its way to the east as well. And like I mentioned, this low pressure here is really the main story for the national map, at least. That's going to be working its way into the mid-Atlantic and northeast, bringing lots of snow into the inland and lots of rain to the coastline. Maybe some flooding issues with that as well. For us, I want you to turn your attention to this low pressure system over South Dakota. That's going to be working its way toward St. Louis as we work into the overnight and early morning hours tomorrow. And I think that may bring us a little bit, at least, of some rain or snow. It's still kind of early to tell what's exactly is going to happen. I think that really it's kind of, we're waiting on where the temperatures are going to be in the morning. By 10 o'clock tonight, we should be at 34. Lots of clouds around. Winds will be to the east-southeast at 4 miles per hour. And as we work into Tuesday, tomorrow about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we should see a high of about 42 degrees, rain, snow in the morning. Again, I think that as this thing rolls by, it's going to be a little bit difficult to forecast, at least through the morning hours, where our temperatures are going to be. I think that's going to have a major impact on what we see. Clouds otherwise, and it will remain cloudy the rest of the day. Winds will be out of the north-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And here's what your 5-day looks like. Again, there's that AM rain/snow chance. Tomorrow, 42 degrees for your afternoon high. And 48 will do it for your afternoon high on Wednesday. Lots of clouds around. I think you kind of notice there, we dry out as we work into the late part of the week. It'll be much, much warmer. Look at that high of Friday, 68 degrees. We'll be nipping at 70 degrees as we work into the end of the week. And like I said, I think tomorrow morning, just take it slow. You can't really tell where we're going to be tomorrow morning temperature-wise, but I think either way, just give yourself a little extra time as you head out.
Great. Thank you so much, Zach. Up next, a look into the world of sports and entertainment. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Some of music's finest will gather during the 59th Annual Grammy Awards in Los Angeles tonight. LL Cool J will host the Music Awards ceremony for the 5th time in a row. Taylor Swift, Kendrick Lamar, Adele, Little Big Town, Rihanna, and many more are expected to perform. Kendrick Lamar leads this year's nominations with 11 nominations, followed by Swift and The Weeknd, who trail behind with 7 nominations each. There will also be several tributes and Lifetime Achievement Awards. The awards ceremony begins at 7 p.m. on CBS.
Deadpool blew away box office away this weekend, opening with $150 million. Deadpool is set to achieve the highest R-rating box office ever. It is also set to be the biggest presidential debut ever. Following Deadpool, Kung Fu Panda 3 came in at number 2, and How to Be Single, a rom-com film, came in at number 3.
We go now to Monica Ryan with a look at this week's SLU Sports. Monica?
Basketball extended their winning record to 9-3 today when they beat Davidson at Chaifetz Arena. The final score was 88-51. There are quite a few ties in the Atlantic 10 standings for the women. The Billikens are tied for 3rd and 4th with St. Bonaventure, while Duquesne and George Washington fight it out for 1st and 2nd. The Billikens play Duquesne this Thursday at home, hoping to knock St. Bonaventure out of their way in the standings. The SLU men's basketball team has hit a rough patch. Losing their past 5 games this weekend, they lost to Virginia Commonwealth by 33 points. The Billikens are currently caught up in a 3-way tie for 11th place with Fordham and George Mason. This Wednesday, the Bills play George Mason in Fairfax, Virginia, planning on cracking the top 10. The Blues are currently 4 points out of 1st place with 11 games left in the regular season. In the Central Division, Dallas and Chicago are tied for 1st with 77 points, while the St. Louis Blues have 73. Tuesday night, the Blues face off against the Dallas Stars at the Scott Trade Center. In this season's matchup against the Stars, the Blues have gone 2-1. After missing last season's playoffs, the Blues are looking to make the most of their remaining regular season games in order to gain a playoff berth here in 2016. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Monica. Kanye West dropped his highly anticipated album, The Life of Pablo, after his SNL performance this past weekend. The album has seen many name changes and is finally available exclusively through Tidal. Life of Pablo has said to be available for wide release and payment by next week.
All right, Zach, we had some really beautiful weather today. I know you said that was going to be happening. Will that stick through for the rest of the month, or what are we looking at?
Well, the pattern seems to be kind of a little bit wild. I'm not unsettled, and I say that because, in St. Louis, you really just, a lot of the time, you just kind of see and wait and see what happens when it comes to these patterns. Sometimes they'll stick around a while, sometimes they don't. I think we're going to have that lax to the end of the week, and then we may see the return of cold air as we work into next week. Still a little bit unclear, but definitely, I think we'll be enjoying at least the rest of this week. We'll kind of take it, week by week and see how things go.
Great.
All right. Well, I'm excited for the warmer weather.
Yeah.
And that's our show for tonight. Thank you for watching.
Don't forget, you can always get the latest movie reviews and news online at slutv.slu.edu or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We will be back here next week at 6 p.m.